Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rans. So today we are going to discuss about circular motion. So before going to start this topic, my humble request to everyone is please watch my previous videos and come to this concept. Why? Because every concept is important regarding this physics. So let us start this topic. Come to the case of this circular motion. If a body revolves around an axis in a circular path, then we can represent it as a circular motion. Let us consider a particle is being stuck to a wheel, a cycle wheel, and if it is rotated, then we can represent that the particle is making a circular motion around the axis of the wheel. So in the same way we can represent this a circular motion. So here we are saying that a circular motion is nothing but if a body is revolving around a fixed axis, then we can represent it as a circular motion. Whereas the circular motion concept is being discussed based on a angular displacement, angular velocity, and angular acceleration. So let us discuss this angular displacement. So if we consider initially the particle is at this position, let us consider this point as P, whereas the axis of the radius is R. After a time t, if the particle changes its position and attains new position, and it we consider it as Q. So here observe that it makes an angle of delta theta. So based on this, now we represent angular displacement, whereas angular displacement is nothing but change in its angular position. Observe that here initially the particle is at point P and it has moved to point Q by making an angle of delta theta. This delta theta represents angular displacement, whereas angular displacement is defined as a change in angular position. Change in angular position. So come to the case, the unit of angular displacement is radian. Unit for angular displacement is radian, whereas 1 degree is equals to pi by 180 radians. So in this way we can represent the values for angular displacement. Next one is angular velocity. Come to the case of this. Angular velocity is nothing but rate of change of angular displacement. So here observe that angular displacement is being represented by omega, where omega equals to rate of change of angular displacement, nothing but delta theta by delta t. Delta theta by delta t. This represents angular velocity, whereas angular velocity is a vector quantity. It's a vector quantity. Why? Because it is having a specific direction and we can represent magnitude as well as direction. That's why angular velocity is represented as a vector quantity, whereas the SI unit for angular velocity is radian per second. That represents the unit for angular velocity. Next, angular acceleration. Come to the case of this. Angular acceleration is being represented by alpha, where alpha is nothing but rate of change of angular velocity. Rate of change of angular velocity represents angular acceleration, and it is represented as delta omega by delta t. Delta omega by delta t. It represents angular acceleration, whereas the SI unit for angular acceleration is radian per second square. So come to the case of this angular displacement, angular velocity, and angular acceleration. Here we had represented change in displacement as well as a change in velocity with respect to time. whereas we can represent the instantaneous angular velocity as well as instantaneous angular acceleration, and here it is being represented as omega equals to limit of delta t tends to 0 delta theta by delta t is equals to d theta by dt. This equation represents angular velocity, instantaneous angular velocity, whereas angular acceleration, instantaneous angular acceleration is nothing but alpha equals to limit of delta t tends to 0 delta omega by delta t is equals to d omega by dt. Whereas observe that omega equals to d theta by dt. Then if we substitute here, we have alpha equals to d square theta by dt square. This shows the relation between angular acceleration and angular displacement. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. Now we are going to show the relation between v and omega. So we are going to discuss about relation between v and omega, where v is a linear velocity, where omega is a angular velocity. So here now we have to show the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity based on this circular motion. For this we consider a body which is revolving in a circular path. Now here, whereas the radius of this axis is r, let us consider that initially the particle is at point P1 and after a time of delta t it has reached to point P2, whereas it makes an angle of delta theta. Now based on that, now we have to show the relation, whereas we know that angle is equals to arc per radius. You know that angle equals to arc per radius, whereas this arc P1 to P2, it is being represented by linear displacement, so it is being represented by S. So based on that, here we can represent it as a delta theta is equals to S by R. From this equation, consider it as theta. So theta equals to S by R. So from this equation here we have S equals to theta into R. Let us differentiate this equation with respect to time. So ds by dt is equals to, since radius is constant, here we take it outside. So based on that, here we can represent it as r into d theta by dt. So here observe that rate of change of linear displacement, nothing but a linear velocity, and it is being represented by v, whereas r is constant. So here we can represent it as r, and the rate of change of angular displacement is nothing but angular velocity. So v is equals to r omega. It's a scalar relation. Here we can also represent it in a vector relation as v bar is equals to r bar cross omega bar. So this shows the relation between a linear velocity and angular velocity in the case of a circular motion. Take a screenshot, we'll continue. Now we are going to discuss about non-uniform circular motion. So in the case of non-uniform circular motion, when a particle moves in a circular motion such that it makes unequal displacements in equal intervals of time. If a particle makes unequal angular displacements in equal intervals of time, then we can represent it as a non-uniform circular motion. Come to the case of this non-uniform circular motion, it is being derived based on equation v is equals to omega cross r. Observe that linear velocity is equals to angular velocity into radius vector. So based on this, here we are going. Let us differentiate this equation with respect to time. Then here we have dv by dt is equals to d by dt of omega r. Since it makes unequal angular displacement, here we are going to differentiate this equation in the form of u into v. Then we can represent it as omega into dr by dt plus r into d omega by dt. And here we know that rate of change of radius vector, it is nothing but linear velocity. Then we can represent it as omega v plus r into alpha. So dv by dt is nothing but acceleration, where a equals to omega cross v plus r cross alpha, where this is being represented based on a centripetal acceleration as well as a tangential acceleration. It is represented as a suffix c, and the tangential acceleration is represented as a suffix t. So here observe that as the centripetal acceleration, it will act towards the inwards. It is being represented as a is equals to v square by r or omega v. We can represent in any form. So here centripetal acceleration is represented as a equals to v square by r or omega v, whereas the tangential acceleration, which is acting tangentially to the motion of the body, is represented as a suffix t is equals to r alpha. A suffix t equals to r alpha. So here as you observe that it is in the form of a triangle, right angled triangle. Then the resultant acceleration is given as a equals to under root of a suffix c square a suffix t square. So if we substitute these values in this equation, here we have v square by r whole square plus alpha r whole square. This represents the resultant acceleration based on centripetal acceleration and tangential acceleration. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Let us see the first problem. Observe that in the figure shown below, with what angular speed omega must m with a radius r rotate on a frictionless table so that m does not move. So here we have to represent with what angular speed that the mass m should rotate on this frictionless table. Observe that mass m is here and mass capital M is hanging in the downward direction, whereas here tension acts in the upward direction. So as you observe that since it is rotating, small m is rotating, it poses centripetal force. This centripetal force should be equals to tension. Then based on that, here we can represent that t is equals to m r omega square. From this omega square equals to t by m r, whereas omega equals to under root of t by m r. So this represents the equation for angular speed. So now as you observe that here had given that m is equals to small m is equals to 1 kg, whereas capital M is equals to 10 kg and r equals to 0.5 meter. And we know that g is equals to 10 meter per second square. So based on that, here we can represent that t is equals to capital M into g. From this equation, here observe that 10 into 10, which is equals to 100 Newton. From this equation, if we substitute all these values in this equation, here we get omega equals to under root of 100 by small m is 1 into radius is 0.5. So omega equals to under root of we know that 0.5 can be represented as 1 by 2. 1 by 2, if we take it up, it converts into 100. So based on that, it can be represented as 1.414 into 10, which is equals to 14.14 angular velocity, nothing but radian per second. This represents the angular velocity of the mass m. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is a ball of 200 gram is at one end of its string of length 20 centimeters. So here length of the string is 20 centimeters. It is revolved in a horizontal circle at an angular frequency of 6 rpm. So angular frequency F is equals to 6 rpm, rotations per minute. Find angular velocity as well as a linear velocity. So here we have to find angular velocity and a linear velocity. Whereas in order to find the angular velocity, we can represent it as omega equals to 2 pi n by t. Whereas n by t is nothing but rotations per minute. So here based on that we can represent it as omega equals to 2 pi into rotations per minute is nothing but 6 by 1 minute it possesses 60 seconds. So here we have 60. So based on that if we cancel here we get 10 and omega equals to 2 into 3.14 by 10. So 2 into 3.14 is 6.28 by 10, which is equals to 0.628 radian per second. So this represents angular velocity of the given problem. Whereas we have to find linear velocity. In order to find the linear velocity, we know that V is equals to omega r, where length is 20 centimeters. So here based on that r can be given as 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So based on that we can represent it as 0.2 meter. So if we substitute this value here, we have V is equals to omega is 0.628 into 0.2. So from this equation we have a to 16, 2 to 4, 5, 6 to 12, 0.01256 meter per second. This represents a linear velocity of the given problem. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.